What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Everything Paranormal Show with your hosts, Josh Morris and Stacy Talich. Stacy, great evening. Good to see you. How's it going?
Doing good. Doing good.
Good. Well, folks, tonight we're going to be talking about ghost baggage. Basically, all that spiritual gunk that you build up. Most people do not think about it. They don't even, some people don't even know about it, period. But it can lead to a lot of everyday sort of ailments. It can affect a lot of things just health wise. I'm going to let Stacy, this is going to be one of Stacy's main wheelhouses tonight. So he'll be able to explain a lot of different things as we go. And of course, I'm going to try to keep him on topic and keep things moving along because that's part of my job. But I just want to say, so folks, if you can imagine, us as spiritual beings, we have this sort of energy, our spirit, if you will, and we move through life, and it's almost like collecting dirt on shoes or getting muddy shoes, gunk build up, not almost like not taking a shower. You can get this stuff built up, and of course it can lead to all kinds of stuff. And what do you do with all that? And that's what we're going to answer tonight for you guys. Is we're going to give you some options based on what you want to do. Because I don't think there's there's not really sort of a one shop or one size fits all kind of thing, because it depends on what you want to do. And we'll cover a little more about that here in a little bit. But some people, maybe you just want to put a hard shut down on things coming in your home. Maybe you want some things, maybe you're open to some things, maybe you just don't want negative things. Maybe you're, whatever the case is, we're going to try to come up with some ideas for you that you can use for yourself, for your home, your business, all those type things. So, Stacy, what's your take on spiritual baggage or ghost baggage?
Well, spiritual baggage is something that a lot of people don't know about, largely because we here in the United States live in a Protestant based country where a lot of that knowledge was pretty much thrown out as superstition. They did it in the Enlightenment period with Thomas Jefferson and the deists of the day. They were really intent on getting rid of ancient superstitions, or what they consider to be ancient superstitions. But at the same time, if you saw the things that they would do in order to do healthy, would be considered ancient superstitious to us, simply because we have evolved in the scientific field. But we're coming full circle. What the ancient cultures used to do is what I'm essentially going to explain here in a bit. But what they used to do, science is now caught up with the whole idea of auroras or auras. Your body emits an EM field. The EM field as a certain frequency, and everybody's frequency is a little bit different, but it ranges in between the 4 hertz and 7 hertz. The Earth itself is at 7 hertz. That's the electromagnetic field of the Earth. It surrounds all of us all the time, and it's just
kind of like you're talking about. You're referring like close to that Schumann frequency.
Yeah. And the aura or the electromagnetic field essentially is layered on top of that. It's not one emitting frequency. It's like a layered cake. The closest to you is a higher frequency, and as it moves out, it's a lower frequency, and that's one of the reasons why spiritual hygiene is actually so important, because you can actually, in these varying frequencies, act like a flypaper to other people's negative stuff, even spirits and negative ghosts, essentially. You get caught up into it, and you will drag them around simply because you are flypaper. To your aura, it gets to the consistency of like cobwebs. Most people don't even realize that it's going on until they get to the point where, like, God, I don't feel grounded anymore. I can't think straight. I don't know I have no attention span. And they think it's fatigue where they're just not getting enough sleep or they're not eating right, which can play into that. But the the electromagnetic field, your aura, actually is the first sign of a lot of diseases. People who can see these, and there's a lot of people that can visually see them with their eyes. It looks like a colored layered cake that surrounds you like an egg. Uh, they can start seeing the manifest of cancer, of bone disease, various problems with reproductive organs, different things like that, because it manifests itself first on the aura before it actually becomes physical. And healers and things of that kind will want to clean your aura of these clots, essentially, so that they don't actually manifest into physical diseases. And this hygiene of cleaning this stuff off is essentially what we're going to be talking about. It just is important as brushing your teeth and taking a bath, because disease happens when you don't do that. Your teeth rot out of your head, and you don't take a bath, you start getting sick because you've got all these germs on you all the time.
Right. And I just wanted to share with you guys, like, if you look up like aura photography, you can kind of see here the different colors of auras that actually radiate off of people. There's even sites dedicated to like, what does your colors tell? You can see here, I'm almost afraid to click on it, but it gets in the whole.
Those aren't universal, by the way. Different people see different colors that may or not be associated with those sorts of things, but it's a good template for recognizing. It's basically a mood ring kind of thing. If anybody's old enough to remember the mood rings,
right?
But it's called Carillion photography. It's actually a negatively charged plate, and it will basically allow your aura to be photographed. That's what the electric look. That's you put your fingers or your hands over a Carillion plate, and it emits that aura. Now, what's interesting is that some people say that it is a trick of the camera and all this other kind of stuff. They've done it where they've cut leaves in half and they've put the leaf on the plate and photographed it, and they still get the full leaf, not the half, to where the other half is still emitting an aura from a plant. And people have done it with missing fingers. They've lost a finger, they put their hand on the plate, and all of their fingers show up in the photograph.
Right.
Because the aura doesn't go away. You don't cut off the aura. It still, thinks that the finger is still there.
Yeah, it's interesting. I was just looking at this stuff just to kind of see what they're talking about. I just wanted to I wanted to see some examples of what you were doing.
Yeah,
Hi, First Serve Tennis.
Is that Terry Lynn on the wrong login?
Well, she's always on the tennis login doing stuff for our son's tennis, so that's why she probably just hopped over and was like, "Hey, the show's going." So, but yeah, I just wanted to see what the Carillion. I just wanted to see some examples of photography. It looks pretty cool. I mean, it's interesting for sure. All right, let me get that out of here then for us right now. Okay, so all right, so for those of you folks, so if you're following along still, Stacy, you're not going to believe what I did last night, even after our talk. Okay, so now you're going to have to say something, honey. All right, so but while she's typing and all that, for those of you again that's trying to follow along, so basically, like you yourself, your aura can just really attract and just collect a lot of gunk. I'm just the one. I'm going to break it down for you in easy to understand terms. Stacy's going to give you the advanced terms. So between the two, we should be able to get there. So Carolyn said, I'm so tired. I passed out, woke up at 9 a.m. with a headache. She forgot the water again. So, yeah, she forgot her water. So now this is a good example of what we're talking about. So in Terry Lynn's case, when spirits are coming to her while she sleeps, one thing that, Stacy had told us a long time ago was have some clean water. And I'm going to let Stacy explain all that again. But here's where I want to just point something out real quick. So Terry Lynn could set up a barrier to stop spirits from trying to communicate with her while she's sleeping if she wanted to, but she doesn't want to create that barrier in her room because she wants maybe her possibility of her mother or like spirits to come in. So this is what I talk about with options and why things need to work the way they do, and depending on what you want, you the viewer, what you want to achieve. So if you want to allow the possibility of spirits coming in your home or your bedroom or whatever, then there's other maintenance. And in this case, like I said, the water, things like that. So Stacy, why don't you explain to folks about the water and what that does for people that get spirits in their home?
Well, spirits are on a different plane. They're on literally on a different frequency than us in the meat suit. Although we are all have the ability to cross over mentally or spiritually across all of these different planes through basically the quantum physics of it all. I'm not getting in too deep into that, but the idea is that spirits can interact with us, but they can't interact with us directly. There are a few things that they can actually work with, elemental things like water, to make themselves manifest, to allow them to literally communicate with us through water vapor. If there is no water around, they will use whatever water source is available, which happens to be you. You are a lot of water in your body, and it doesn't take very much water drained from you to create a dehydrated process. And the first symptom of dehydration is headaches. You notice that if you've ever had a hangover, the reason you have a hangover is because you're dehydrated. Your body is flushing out all the toxins, and you haven't replenished that water yet, and your brain is hurting from that dehydration. The same thing will happen when you're dealing with spirits. They will dehydrate you slowly, not to hurt you. They don't mean to actually hurt you. That's not the process. They want to actually communicate with you and do things for you, teach you things, whatever in your sleep, watch over you in your sleep, different things like that. It's just naturally what happens when they come into the room. They will absorb moisture. That's why rooms will get suddenly cold. It's because the energy that they're pulling out, they're pulling heat out of the room, and it's when you have lack of heat, you get cold. The moisture in the air is also being pulled as well for them to, do that sort of thing. Can I get a rock fountain and put it? Yes, but the water can't go stale. When dust and things like that get in the water, they won't want to get near it because it smells like swamp water to them. If it goes stale, I mean, you can't smell it. It doesn't, anything that's longer than 24 hours, it goes stale, then it becomes repugnant to them. Which is
even with the little rock fountain that kind of recycles that water, and
because the dust that's in the room starts to accumulate inside the water, and it's not algae, it's not bacteria, it's literally the dust. The thing that you can do though in the rock fountain is put in some bluing, just a little squirt that keeps it fresh. It keeps it fresh smelling. Mrs. Stewart, she looks like Mrs. Doubtfire there in the front. Robin Williams. But this stuff has been around literally since 1883. So, and it's Mrs. Stewart. You squirt a little bit of that and the bluing in it. It's a biodegradable, non-toxic detergent that people use instead of bleach, and for like clothes and washboard, the old timey stuff.
So basically, if you had like a little rock fountain that kind of kept the water circulating, each day you could just put just a little bit of that bluing in there just to keep it, fresh, so to speak. And
right, and it's non-toxic. If you've got little dogs and cats and things like that like to drink out of the toilet, they won't drink out of it. And then if they do the first time, it won't even hurt them. It's, non-toxic in that regard. So you don't have to worry about killing off your animals with detergent lying around. But yeah, a little fountain would be fine. The idea is to have that water available that they can use, that they don't start draining it from you. Other things that you can do too, and when you're protecting your room, your bedroom, it's not a zero-sum game where if you block spirits, you're going to block them all. You can block just the negative ones, which is what we were talking about before with pine sol. If you have carpeting or hardwood floors, but if you wash the door frames and window frames or any other hole in the wall or whatever it is that grants access to that room, you wash it with pine sol. It keeps out negative spirits while allowing the good spirits to come in. So
right now we're going to get into definitely some more house type things as well. So I want to start back at let's just start from the beginning of, so when somebody's getting ready to leave their house and go out into the world, is there anything that you can give people advice for just themselves? Like, should they put on a crystal, or is there something they can do just to, kind of wear something out into the world to help?
Yeah. Crystals are great if they've been, properly sanctified, but you don't necessarily need that. You can wear a white hat. If you've ever been to Miami, you'll notice there's people that walk around when they're dressed in white from head to toe. The Santos, the newly birthed Santeria, what they call newly birthed, they recently got initiated. They have to wear white for one whole year to protect themselves from, negative spirits, because being a newborn, they're really susceptible to predatory spirits. And as soon as they start wearing darker clothes, their life turns to shit. It's just part of the process. So they're mandated for 1 year to wear pure white from head to toe, everything. And it's all over Miami. You'll see them,
Right.
They usually have their head shaved and not like crew cut shaved, not bald, but they're wearing white because the color.
And that's got to suck for, they can't really follow the after Labor Day rules then, huh?
No. And they don't care. If people ask them why they're wearing white, they're like, I just feel like wearing white. They're very
You're wearing white after Labor Day, mister.
But colors play into it. Just like your aura has all these different colors to it, you wear white, your aura will match. It will be like a chameleon kind of thing. It will match whatever you are wearing on that level. And spirits will be attracted or stay away from you. Black attracts absolutely everything, which is why goth people are so freaking miserable all the time.
I wear black all the time.
Well,
but now I do have my crystal, but I don't wear it all the time. But yes,
yeah, it's I wear black a lot too, but at the same time, I don't really do it when I'm going out into the world. I wear lighter colors, and when I'm going to a seance, it's absolutely forbidden. You have to wear lighter color stuff or white hat, all of it, and that's just part of the tradition. But if you are having headaches and different things like that, you put on a white hat, it will fade. Now,
Okay. So they can, there's some protection that they can do when they go out into the world. And I want to add to the crystal thing as well, just to kind of let you folks know, like one of the important things is, like, for example, like with my crystal, one, this started back when I went to a crystal shop. I was looking around and this one called my name, not literally, but it called to me. I was looking and I saw this one just there with the other crystals, and I just was fixated. You know, it's like, I like that. I gotta have that. I knew that's how I knew it was meant to be for me. Then after I got it, I cleansed it. You want to make sure you cleanse crystals, because remember, these crystals are sitting around as well, and people are passing their auras by and touching it or whatever, these things like that as well. So when you get it home, cleanse it. And you can do that simple. It's very simple. You can rinse it under like just tap water. You can rinse it under tap water. I even just do a little bit of rub, just kind of rub, you know, I like to clean it as well. But, you know, but rinse under the tap water, and then you can program it, which is where you can, you know, give it the intent that you need it to do. In my case, it protects me from attachments, not paranormal, not like full paranormal, or else my investigations would suck. but it protects me from just attachments, and it allows for communication. That's the two biggest things that I have. So it just doesn't even really protect me against negative spirits as far as attacks and things. This just protects me from attachments. Very specific. But anyways, so, but you can program things to protect yourself as well when you go out there. Now, Stacy, so people, they go out, they go to Walmart, like the epicenter of just a melting pot of energies, right?
yeah,
You're right. And so they go to Walmart, they go to the bank, they go to these places, they pick up all kinds of spiritual just garbage, right? So they come home, or is there something in their vehicle that they can have too? I mean, is this something? So what's a good way to come home? Let's just go. Let's stick with home, because I imagine you could probably do similar things at home. Let's say so they pull in the driveway, they're getting the walk in the home, they got all this spiritual junk on them. What's something that can help them cleanse themselves, and what's some of the things that they could do at that point?
yeah. There's different levels to, you know, everything. Some people are so bogged down they've never done any kind of cleansing at all ever in their entire lives. You know, no aromatherapy, nothing, and their life is actually for shit. And somebody explains to them, this is what you got to do. You got to cleanse yourself. Flower water is the quick and nasty, you know, get rid of stuff that you're dealing with in the moment. And flower water is this stuff. They call it Florida water cologne or Le Toilette, you know, depending on whatever brand name you're talking about. But this stuff is everywhere in Miami too. They actually have it in throughout.
Smells really good.
Yeah, it's got cinnamon, rose water, rubbing alcohol, so don't drink it. It's got various other, you know, nice smelling things that are flower based.
Right.
And what it does is it acts as a break to whatever attachments. And by attachments, I literally mean that spirits will throw what looks like a wire or a thread into your head to hold on to you and communicate with you through your third eye in the back of your head. And you're having a lot of weird thoughts. You can't concentrate. You got a headache going on, all kinds of things like that. You need to break that thread, sever the tie. And
Right.
flower water is the way to do it. And you can clean your entire aura quick and easy by putting some in your hand, and then you doing this to break that connection. And you do it all over your body, all the way down the front, all the way down the back, constantly throwing stuff off. And you will literally feel pins and needles tingling as you're doing it for there's nothing magical about it. What you're doing is what you're feeling is wiping off the schmuck that's
Bless
on your
you.
aura. Yeah, the
Right.
schmutz that like in the lens of cameras or your glasses, you clean them off, and you're like, whoa, I can see. That's
Right.
really what you're doing. You're
Right.
cleaning off all this stuff, and your whole body can feel it, and it feels very energized. It smells good. You feel really grounded, and it will last for several hours that way, until you go out in the world again and you start picking it all up like a lint brush. If you are still having problems because you've got something really nasty attached to you, you can take a spiritual bath. Spiritual bath is similar to what this is, except you're soaking in it and letting all of the stuff that's really dug in like a tick that releases it, opens up those centers of your body, the chakra points, letting it get into the water and then go down the drain.
Right.
When you get out of the tub in that kind of situation, you typically feel completely drained and wiped and relaxed, because you literally, it's like you've been carrying around this weight on your shoulders for so long that now that you're not doing it, you're just like, oh God, it feels so good not to do that.
Right.
Taking off a backpack you're just like,
Yeah.
you're carrying around all that weight that you didn't even realize you were carrying around. And you can get rid of curses. Witches throw stuff at you that is ruining your life and causing all kinds of crazy things to happen. It gets stuck to you that way. The curse itself gets stuck to you. You can break curses by taking a spiritual bath. It is time tested, and it is a really old tradition. It's not something that is new agey or something that some white liberal in California figured out. It is literally something that came from the old world. This idea of the spiritual baths. It's ancient. Rome, they did it in Rome back in the day. So taking these spiritual baths can be a godsend, especially if you've got something like a witch chasing you around, throwing, evil curses at you.
Oh yeah. Now, a couple things. One is I do want to backtrack a little bit. Terry Lynn said I thought we were supposed to cleanse crystal in salt water. No, you can just do regular water. And then she did say to charge in the sunlight or moonlight. And again, that's true. And that's part of your regular crystal maintenance. Don't, if you're like me and I wear mine out to paranormal investigations a lot. I don't tend to wear it, at work and things like that in the daytime, because we really can't wear a lot of jewelry at my day job. But I make it a point to still try to wear this, out like on the weekends, things like that. I try to wear it out into the sun. I use sunlight. I don't tend to charge it with the moonlight. You can, if you want that type of charge. Again, I'm not going to get into a whole class of crystals, but Terry Lynn brings up a good point, and I appreciate it, Terry Lynn. Thanks for letting me know. So, but yes, absolutely. If you have crystals, part of that maintenance is putting them in the sun or moonlight, keeping that charge. And then even every once in a while, like I've cleansed my crystal every so often. I'll just cleanse it and reprogram it, and like I said, keep it in the sun every so often. So it's just good maintenance, and that's what we're talking about here today. We're talking about spiritual maintenance. Also, Eldona talks about having a reading. I don't have my tarot cards on me right now. The only spiritual stuff I have in my room is like my spirit board. So if y'all like stuff like this, we got Terry Lynn's got, oh my God, guys, listen. I'm telling you right now, we got to take a quick moment. So, guys, Northeast Tennessee, Knoxville. If any of you guys are around Knoxville, Tennessee, next weekend, the 26th, 27th, and 28th, you can come see Terry Lynn and I out at CreepyCon. And I'm going to be doing, I've got a panel that I'm headlining on Friday night, 7 to 9. We're going to be doing a panel. Myself, Kalani the Ghost Hunter, and Black Mass Paranormal, Brian. We're all going to be doing a panel Friday night. And I'm also going to be doing a panel with Josh from Southern Afterlife about spiritual communication Saturday afternoon. So, guys, but one of the most important things is you got to come out and see us. Terry Lynn and I is going to be there all weekend. She's going to have her spirit boards, the ones I've been showing you guys. I don't even have one on me right now because we've been preparing. We got them all put up. But her gorgeous spirit boards that we're going to be taking some of those, some crystals, and we're going to be selling those this weekend. I've got my book. We're going to be doing the book signing stuff. So guys, come on out and see us. If you're going to be in Northeast Tennessee next weekend, come out and see us. It's going to be a good time. Trina, what's going on? She said, hey, just wanted to say hello and talk to you on the live a couple of weeks ago and subscribe to your channel. Just want to say hi and hope you're doing well. Yes, it's good to see you. I'm glad you're back. And so, folks, we are now. Let me tell you, we are going to do some more live locations. We're going to do some more react videos. If you guys like watching Station, I do some react videos. Definitely comment down below. Let us know. We'll do more of them. I swear. I know Terry Lynn likes them, so she likes seeing us react to the videos. Hi, camera. I guess you can. There you go. You can focus again. All right. So, but yeah, guys. So we got a lot going on, and as far as next week, I don't know. I'm going to be honest with you guys because Thursday we have to be there to load up. We have to be there to go and prep and load for this event. It's really big. And so we're going to be in Knoxville around the time of the show, probably at 9 p.m. still. I may even be on the road. So I'm not sure if we'll be able to go live next week. Either way, we'll figure something out. Okay. We'll figure something out because I'm sure I'm going to be going live from CreepyCon a few times next weekend. So I'll give you guys a chance to see that event live a little bit on the channel. I'm excited about it. I cannot wait. It's going to be huge. It's a huge event. Huge event. Yeah. All right. So yeah, and maybe I don't want to do readings on Thursdays, but you know what, Aldona, maybe I'll have to do some more readings again. I will. I have not forgotten my tarot stuff. I have been practicing every once in a while. I still have them. I've been taking them with me to my hospital run. I've got one of the guys that I work with likes to get a tarot reading every once in a while. But I need to start doing more of those again, and I'll pick another night. Maybe like a Wednesday night or something if Stacy wants to be here, or if he can't make it, maybe if it's just me, we'll try to do maybe a tarot reading, and maybe even a dowsing rod. I try to combine tarot and dowsing rod because I know some of you want to talk to some of your relatives, so sometimes I try to get that arranged too, to where we can see if your relatives have any messages for you guys. So I'll do some more dowsing rod / tarot reading sessions in the future as well. So, but guys, the best way you can make that happen, seriously, is keep sharing our content and subscribing, because once I can get rid of my second nighttime job, I can definitely do a lot more tarot readings and live readings for you guys. I'll have my evenings freed up more, so we can do a lot more. Trust me. We're really close. All right. But anyways, let's get back to the ghost baggage. So guys, hopefully you guys are understanding that this is why Stacy and I really wanted to bring this up to your attention, because businesses, homes, yourself, spiritual buildup can happen, right? And it's just not something people normally think about. We think about when we start getting like just stress maybe, or headaches. We immediately want to start thinking always about physical problems, and then especially when you're like, God, I'm getting headaches, but I'm drinking. I'm drinking throughout the day. And you're having all these problems, and you don't always think that, hey, maybe you have some spiritual attachments, or you have some buildup, you have some garbage there on you. So, and this is what Stacy's talking about: cleansing yourself, having those, that maintenance. Just like we take showers for physical dirt, we want to shower our spirit, so to speak, our spirit bodies.
Right. Well, the headache thing, and Terry Lynn brought it up earlier in the chat, so I feel I can be comfortable talking about it. The headache is not universal for dehydration. It is a signal that the dead are trying to talk to you. If you start getting a headache for no reason whatsoever, you're not under stress, you've eaten, all of your other normal things are happening the way that they should, and there's all of a sudden, wham, you've got a spiking headache out of nowhere for no reason whatsoever. The dead will try and communicate to you, and if you're not listening or paying attention to what they're saying or trying to show you through ideas and emotions and feelings and different things of that sort, that's how it manifests communication, is through your five senses. If you are ignoring it all, being in your little world, trying to do whatever it is you want to do, and they're really insistent on trying to communicate something to you for your own good or for whatever reason, they will increase the volume or increase the pressure like a dentist drill. In your brain will try and protect itself from outside, interference, and that's where the conflict happens and you start getting the headache. If you have something psychosomatic of your own thing where the dead are trying to talk to you, but you just are freaked out, you don't want to deal with that kind of thing, you may hear voices when you start to go to sleep where they're saying your name over and over and over again, and it sounds like somebody's in the other room calling for you, but it's also in your own ear. The dead talking to you, you will start to develop a headache because you are intentionally trying to ignore it. That's just, I'm going crazy, I'm just going to ignore this, I'm going crazy, that's not real, blah blah blah. Your head will start to hurt because they are trying to get to you because it's important. They need you to hear them, and your brain is stopping it. It's putting up a wall. We actually have a device in our brain called the lemon that prevents outside things from happening. That's where we get the word subliminal. The lemon is the valve between your unconscious mind and your conscious mind, and they're trying to bust through that, and that's where you're getting your headache. Cleansing yourself gets rid of a lot of that, but understanding yourself, like if you grew up in a very Catholic environment, you went to Catholic school, you had nuns putting the fear of hellfire and damnation into your head since you were in kindergarten, that if you ever talk to spirits, you're going to go straight to hell and get sucked up by demons. That subconscious paranoia is what is blocking you. That is literally your internal fears are trying to prevent that from happening. And people who are particularly sensitive, it's detrimental just to have that, simply because it's completely unnecessary. You can manage any kind of situation you come across with the dead by communicating with them. You do it all the time when you go out and use the dowsing rods and go to a site. You communicate to them like they're people. They're decent human beings and with respect.
Right.
That all by itself, and it's true, it's honest. You're not just doing platitudes. It's a sincere belief that what you're doing is giving them the respect they deserve. That all by itself, not fearing that they're demons in disguise, prevents the headache from happening. Having that internal, I don't know what you would call it, early childhood trauma of all of the stories you hear from the nuns. can really mess you up when you get older and you actually start communicating with spirits on an adult level. So, um, putting on a white hat when you go out in the world will do wonders for you too. So there's that.
Yeah. And so now there's a couple things I definitely want to get to, guys, for sure, because there's a couple tips that I know Stacy talks about that really helps for the entrances of your buildings. And we touched a little bit on pine sol. So I would definitely want to talk about pine as well. But, and just to kind of back up what Stacy's talking about, even in that kind of real world sense, is like in our house, for example, in our house, our home, we have a variety of crystals. Of course, our downstairs is just chock full of crystals in our shop and stuff, because we buy them. But in our bedrooms, we have some shungite and jet to kind of keep some dark spirits and sort of the negative stuff away. And we have like some selenite for cleansing and things like that. So we have some crystals set up here and there to keep things positive, to keep things fresh. And then we have places in our home that's not quite really protected, so to speak, by crystals, but is more of a landing zone for positive spirits. So our home is kind of like a stop along a stagecoach route, and we're one of those stops where spirits tend to roam in from time to time. And when they do, spiritual activity tends to pick up in our house. And of course, this means for Terry Lynn, who is definitely, sensitive, she gets more and more ghost spirits, like Stacy said, trying to talk to her. They're trying to say, hey, we want some attention. So, of course, the water, putting that bowl of water near her head, each night, that helps to keep everything, sort of subdued. But eventually what we have to do, and what we usually do, is every so often we will break out our dowsing rods. Terry Lynn has her own dowsing rods, and we will do communication sessions with the spirits that have accumulated here, and we will basically talk to them, and we're acknowledging them. We're just basically, like Stacy said, we're respectfully talking to them, and we're saying, hey, what do you need? What can we do for you? Like, what do you know? And a lot of times they really don't want anything in particular. Like, they actually don't even want help crossing over. They don't really, it's not much. They really don't normally want a lot of things. At least the ones I keep talking to normally don't really want anything. Mostly they just want to be acknowledged, and they just want to be heard, if that makes sense. Like just a conversation, just a little conversation. And then we send them on their way, and they leave. We tell them, hey, see ya. Like, we acknowledge you, good, see ya. And it works well. It does well. They move on, and then things will be fine. Sometimes Terry Lynn will forget her water for a long time. No problems. But then guess what? The next spirits come by, the next rotation or whatever, like the stagecoach of spirits, they come by, and now we're hosting some new ones. And then now, so I just wanted to kind of give you guys some real world, how our home kind of operates in that real world basis, and kind of explain a little bit how we use some of those techniques. Now, Stacy, I want you to definitely tell some people about, you were starting to get into like the pine sol stuff. Like, I want to talk about pine, the wreaths that you were telling me about, and even some of the iron. And talk a little bit about what people can do to target like the entrances of their homes or businesses.
Yeah, and to go on with what in your home, like in my home, we have an altar that's set up specifically for the dead. It is a little cabinet that is dedicated specifically for them, and we have some things there, a crystal ball, a little statue of the Virgin Mary, but what it's mainly for is to feed the dead, feed our protecting guides and spirits of the dead. And your protecting guide is basically the bouncer that follows you around all the time anyway, and they get kind of tired following you around and protecting you from the stupid stuff you do on a daily basis. and refreshing them, and just like you cleanse your crystals and refresh the crystal, your protecting guide needs that too. And we'll put water, a little tea candle, and whatever we're eating, a little teeny like thimble worth of food on a little plate, and set it there, kind of like what the Seder dinner for the Jews. They have a whatever they're eating at the table. They have a plate full of food for the spirit that they have in their religion.
Right.
It's essentially you're feeding your ancestors, you're feeding your protecting guides, and you're giving them a portion of whatever it is that you are making for yourself. And that in of itself, food actually tastes better when it's homemade because it's usually cooked with love, as opposed to going to Burger King.
Right.
They feel that too. That is just as much part of their experience as it is us. So, giving them a little bit of your own food that you've made is a supercharge that to your protecting guide and the spirits, and that's part of the tradition.
Nice.
And when we forget to do stuff too, they let us know. That hey, I'm kind of hungry over here. So and they do it by whatever you happen to be making at the time hits the floor. It literally will. You know how when you're making a peanut butter sandwich, the peanut butter size always hits the floor down.
Right.
That's the dead telling you that they want some of that. So it's like, all right. So you give them some of that because you're not going to eat it now that it's on the. That's what they want. They threw that on the floor so they can have that. So that's when Anyway, back to the point. Protecting your establishment, your business, or your home is relatively simple because your home itself, doorways have a magical property all unto themselves. Just like crossing over when you die, it's a doorway, and you can go all the way back to ancient Egypt. The traveling that would take place to go to the other side in ancient Egypt was a series of doors. Babylonian is the same. The dance of the seven veils were doorways that people would go through. These seven veils, the veils of dimensions, they're doorways. In your home, your doorway has that same quality to it. A spirit, and like in the Dracula, can't even come in your house without being invited through the door. It is one of these things that has incredible magical properties all by itself. Use that.
And real quick, I want to throw in there. I should be having an investigation coming up soon, episode 4 of Para Explorers, which episode 3 is not out yet. But on episode 4, I don't want to spoil anything, but there is a home. I just wanted to add this to the point that there isn't like some of these early American homes had a death door.
Mm-hmm.
So in one of we investigated a home that had like a death door, so, and, because along with the same thing, they believed some of, back when Americans were cooler, we believed that, the spirits would leave through a different door. So anyways, but I just wanted to add to that because we actually came across a home that had a death door. So
it's universal across cultures that never communicated with each other. You go down to Machu Picchu, they have carved in stone doorways that lead to nowhere. In the Ute Desert, what if you've been watching on Netflix, the Skinwalker Ranch, they have carved into the side of the glyphs doorways. In the Old Testament, when death was stalking the firstborn, they put blood over the doorways, to protect from death coming in and stealing the firstborn. Doorways are a very powerful thing, and it's baked into the cake. If you use that, you can prevent a lot of things from happening coming into your home.
You know who else understood doors? Sarah Winchester.
Oh yeah. She was afraid of evil spirits or spirits that were out for revenge for all the Winchester rifles that her family had been built and killed, not only during the Civil War, but during the Wild West days. She
Yeah.
was petrified of the evil spirits because a medium told her that evil spirits were going to kill her if she didn't like do that, build the house the way that it was, which is why the Winchester house is so freaky. Um, they
Yeah,
just
just doors to like nowhere or doors like that, all kinds of stuff. So it's definitely confusing for spirits, I would imagine, for sure.
Yeah, it was a labyrinth, and it was all
Right.
designed for spirits. She went into like 2 rooms in that whole house the whole time, and she had this huge mansion that just stairs that went into the ceiling, it's just holes in the floor that it was crazy.
Right.
But what it was true. Doorways that you and I can actually walk through are very powerful in that way, but so are mirrors. Mirrors have the same effect. They actually act as like the Ghostbuster ghost traps. If you have mirrors in your rooms, 2 mirrors facing each other to where they're like reflective of each other, it actually acts like a Ghostbusters trap. The ghosts will get caught in between the mirrors or into the mirror itself, and it's like the mirror dimension from Doctor Strange. And spirits are really afraid of mirrors because they see things that we don't in the mirror. So there's that. Anyway, using the doorway, you can put things on the frame or put things on the door itself that will prevent spirits, dark spirits anyway, from crossing the threshold. One of them is evergreen. Now, there's 2 different kinds. You have the evergreen pine that has got the pine needles, and then you have the evergreen leaf, like what you see with Christmas wreaths. Both are good. The kind that have the leaves on them that you see on the wreaths, I like
Right.
those better because they last a lot longer. They're evergreen.
Right.
They're a living thing that has this ability to cleanse people as they walk into your house. So, say you got somebody coming into your house for doing the cable or doing the internet, and that person is a complete and utter asshole because they've got a dozen spirits that are attached to them, and you don't want those spirits to stay in your place or attach themselves to you or your wife or your children or any of that. In not ancient Germany, but in old timey Germany, medieval,
Right.
the Christmas wreath was specifically put on the door during Christmas time to prevent negative spirits from coming into the home during the season of giving and good cheer.
Right.
Prevent family members from being how family members get when they come to a party. It cleanses them like a lint brush of whatever spirit is negatively attached to them. The Yule Log, burning the Yule Log, is basically a giant incense that does the same thing. It feeds the good spirits and purges the home of the negative spirits. It's essentially the German variation of the
Sage.
sage. Thank you.
It's like, right.
The sage that Native Americans use is essentially the same thing that the Germans were doing with the Yule log, which is pine mixed in with other, fruits and berries and various incense and sometimes different. Germans like to cook meat for some reason at all times for everything. So this would be a Yule log that was given as a sacrifice or an offering to basically bring on the new year and doing it for all of your ancestors and your spirits in that regard. These things have real value because they work. Evergreen, the wreath, great seasonal thing. Pine, you can get rope. pine rope where you put it around the door frame has the same effect. Pine Sol uses pine oil, which is essentially the thing we're trying to get at when you clean the door, clean the frame, you clean your floors if they're hardwood floors with Pine Sol, and negative spirits cannot go near it. It burns them.
Make sure, folks, that if you do get Pine Sol, double check. Like, make sure, like, if you don't get just the generic without checking, because if you get the generic, it could just be like pine scented or something, like artificially scented. So just keep that in mind if you're gonna go and you're like, well, hey, let me go cleanse my place by doing some Pine Sol and cleaning, do some spring cleaning, literally. I see you. You see me. What's going on?
Carolyn changed. She's no longer first serve tennis.
Yeah, she changed for a little bit. I didn't know if she was still here with us, but I'm glad she's made the switch over so we can see her lovely name. And I see you. You see me. It's good to see you popping in here. I haven't. Not a lot, just busy. That's good. Well, yeah, I mean, and I hope it'd be nice to see Bob. I haven't seen Bob either. And was he in the last live? Was he there when we were at the? Was Bob? Did he come to any of the stuff when we were at when I was at Epic Inc? I don't remember.
I didn't see it. He hasn't. We did the reviews. He didn't do the. I don't think he was at any of the reaction videos either.
I know he was doing the podcast thing for a little bit there. But in any case, guys, if you have not seen my investigations of Epic Ink Tattoo, I definitely recommend them. I think they're really good. The live stream, we actually made contact with a male spirit live with the K2 meter. The K2 meter was intelligently responding. So if you want to see something like that, you guys go check that out, because again, this was live. I mean, it was really cool. And we had first timer Lucius there to witness that. But I went there live twice, once with Martina, once with Lucius, but we did that K2 meter. But I think both investigations yielded really good. I think the first night I was there, we had, I think, some really good evidence, some EVPs, things like that. I think the second night, the live was really good, but then the second night was like, it's okay. It had some stuff, and mostly like the spirit box session was pretty good. We dug out a lot. For those of you that watch the spirit box sessions, and then you see these phrases that come up there, keep in mind that what I do when I listen to the spirit box sessions later on as I have them in my headphones, and I'm able to isolate that section where there may be something, and I can kind of replay it. And I try to pick the ones that actually sound like they're spread over a few frequencies, and that sounds you can kind of start hearing some of the similar voices in some of them, but I just put what it sounds to me like after I've listened to it like 10 or 15 times. I'll be like, oh man, this sounds like this. And I'll just put it in there because I don't know. It could mean something to somebody else, could mean something to the owners of Epic Ink Tattoo, which I think there was some things in there that they were like, well, yeah, that's, so anyways, so that's how I interpret the spirit box sessions whenever I translate them. A lot of times I don't like to put a whole lot in the EVP translations. I try to let you guys kind of hear that, but sometimes it's hard. So sometimes I'll put it in there, and that way you guys can put some headphones on or dig that out yourself. But
were you able to find out about the Chucky doll?
No, I didn't even ask about that, but I don't think that was it. I think there's something with that phone or something over there, maybe that might have been causing like an automated voice on that. But as far as the EVPs at the end there, where like the woman laughing and the one phrase and stuff, I mean, listening to it in the headphones, it's amazing. And I don't think that's the Chucky doll at all. Okay. Just because I can hear like so good with the headphones. right off the raw footage, and so it's really cool. So I definitely liked those EVPs, but um, Terry Lynn found a woman laughing on the episode for the one I showed you, with the woman laughing when I had me and Brian in that old farmhouse, which coincidentally had a death door. But that woman laughing in that was crazy. I mean, she that was a class A laugh there, a class A EVP laugh there. But
it was a direct response.
oh well, it was something, that's for sure. Like Terry Lynn's like, "Who's the woman? What?" And it was major. Like I said, you guys have to check it out. Episode 4. All right, so guys, as we start to get to the back side of the show, I always like to warn you guys. That way, if you have any questions, statements, anything that you guys want to know, now's the time to start getting that in. But yeah, I felt like I just really, guys, spiritual maintenance is so important to me. It really is, and I mostly because of my wife, especially, she really needs that maintenance. And even though I say she does too, I do as well but I do it a lot more through crystals and things, and then I tend to go and get around her when I need cleansing because she will use the Florida water and things like that. So we have quite a bit down, but I think the lesson for us to pass on to you guys is if you let up on things, see, like even Taylor just said, I will not forget my water tonight. So if you let up on things and you don't, it's just like if you stop taking baths or showers physically, you're going to start getting rashes. You're going to start getting smells. You're going to start getting dreadlocks. You're going to start getting all of the after effects of not showering physically. Well, same thing spiritually. If you don't take care of your spirit, right, you're going to start having those effects, whether they're headaches or depression or God knows what. There's probably a ton of effects that can happen when spirits are trying to communicate or when you're just being drugged down by these negative attachments. So guys, that's why this is important. And Stacey and I really was wanting to do this episode just to and I know we've covered this before a few times in the past, but we really like to update these videos and let you know, hey, here's what's going on, or here's some of the latest things, just like Terry Lynn and I wanted to share with you guys what we just went through when it comes to spiritual maintenance. It's like, we stopped doing it. Terry Lynn got headaches. She was getting really bad. And we almost forgot. We're like, what the heck? And then it dawned on us, wait a minute. And then Terry Lynn made the connection to, wait a minute, my headache started when I went to Epic Inc., and even though she didn't do the investigations, she went there for our friend's tattoo, but she didn't have any protection. She didn't really even think about it. She was just out and about doing her thing. And guess what? She picked up some baggage. She picked up some ghost baggage, took it home, and started getting headaches and stuff and everything else. And then
you suffered like a couple of days worth of headaches too, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, it was a while. We just, again, because even us, and that's something I try to explain to you guys, is that we're not perfect. Like, we are human beings like everybody else. And even though Terry Lynn and I don't want to say we live the ghost lifestyle. I mean, but we have a life, like I work, she works, like, we have a son, we have life. We don't just live for the dead all the time. It's something that we do, like, that's like our third job. That's something that we do, and it's something we enjoy doing. But again, sometimes we just get caught up in life. And that's kind of the lesson for you guys, folks, is like, that's why we want to do these shows from time to time like this, because we're trying to remind you, hey, don't forget about your spiritual side of things, like your cleansing and maintaining your stuff.
Yeah.
That's important.
I would like to add on that level, if you ignore it, thinking that this is all in my head, must be going crazy, and you keep pushing that narrative in your own head, yes, you will be crazy, because your brain will start to adapt to the idea that you're nuts, and it will make sure that you're nuts. If you deal with the idea that your spirits are around you that you can actually manage, you can cleanse yourself and all that kind of stuff, you're not nuts. You will maintain your sanity.
Right.
The zeitgeist, which is a totally different thing, it's not spirits, it's actually living people. We have a collective consciousness that we all kind of share, and they've done spirit experiments with this, the 100 monkey test and all this other kind of thing. It's proven. FBI knows it, CIA knows it, and so does psychologists. They literally call it the 100 monkey test. That zeitgeist that we are all connected to will also start to weigh people down, where they think that they're going crazy because everyone in the world is going crazy. Think of what's going on right now. You know, people are watching the news, they're watching their politicians do incredibly stupid stuff that is leading to an apocalyptic kind of an event out of stupidity, driving everyone around the world crazy. Some are doing it on purpose, World Economic Forum, and some are just stumbling into it. But at a base level, a beehive level, we're all connected and we're all feeling that same agitation. Cleansing yourself and recognizing that it's not you going crazy, it is everybody else going crazy, actually gives you a certain calm and sanity.
Yes.
It's not in your head, it is in everybody else's. You're just picking up on it. You're hearing the noise, recognizing that, and just breathe, because it's not you.
So a couple options too that I want to let you guys know is like, listen, if you're not sure, if you just are like, man, I don't know, man, like, and you're like, this is kind of what I got going in my life, this is kind of what I got going on in my house, or whatever, you're always welcome to reach out to us and contact us. Okay, I've got email and stuff. Email me, just say, hey Josh, look, here's the deal, and I can look at it. And I can get with Stacy. We can collab on some spiritual things for you. We can kind of look at it and say, hey, there's, this is what you could do. And if that doesn't work, whatever. But typically, I'm going to be honest with you, like the things that Stacy talk about, these are not like these are things that he's just making up. I mean, these are things that have been tried and true for God knows how long, sometimes thousands of years. And it's just like myself, when you're in this industry or you're around things long enough, you see the same things start to occur all the time, no matter of what you believe in or your approach to things or whatever. Just certain things tend to be the same thing that tend to happen. And just like with Stacy, when he talks about these things to help you with your spiritual maintenance, they're gonna help. Bottom line, they help. Like we, Terry Lynn and I, we follow them, because even as paranormal investigators, you have to think about it. There's a difference between just being somebody that goes out and ghost hunts versus somebody that also deals in the spiritual side of things. It's the huge worlds, huge mega worlds. That's why Stacey and I work really good together, because I'm like the one out on the field ground, like finding the ghosts and doing these investigations and doing that stuff. Whereas Stacy's the kind of guy that can, like, he's the intellect that can, tell you all the behind and the spiritual side of things and what to do about some of this stuff and how to maintain this type of stuff. That's what's great about when we talk about these things. So it's very important, guys, to reach out. We have these videos. You can always go back and watch them again. Be like, well, what did they say about this again? Go back and watch. I know sometimes we ramble, right? But go back. And again, worst case scenario, reach out to us. Reach out, and we're always here to help you, guide you along the way, and just let us know. Okay. Now, one more quick thing to plug is, like, if you want to learn more about plugging into the zeitgeist and you want to learn more about like remote viewing, these type of things, Stacy has courses on Udemy. Okay. UDEMY. Okay. Go to Udemy, look up Stacy Talich. His name's right here. Also, we have down below, we have, what do you call it?
Hyperlink?
Yeah, you got the link down below. And I just noticed this whole time we've been broadcasting and we don't even have the template up. What the heck? The overlay. That's weird. Oh, I get it. Oh yeah, never mind. Because I'm like, it says powered by StreamYard. I don't even have my
normal.
I didn't even have it says live with StreamYard up here. It doesn't even say like sponsored by paranormal paranormal underground magazine. But guys, paranormal underground magazine normally would be right here where you see live with StreamYard. Paranormal Underground magazine, guys, it's a great magazine. Go check them out. It's free every month. If you go, let them know that I sent you. Just say, hey, Josh sent me your way. You're going to get a free year of Paranormal Underground magazine, fully illustrated magazine sent to your email, and it's all containing like paranormal stuff. It's awesome. Great articles. Bob Fountain was writing in there. Where's my comment? Back to my comments here. Oh my God, I can't spell. Paranormal Underground magazine. Yeah. Thank you, honey. Or Paranormal. Paranormal Underground magazine. So if y'all want to learn about paranormal, porn, nice. Porn, never mind. Paranormal. Never mind. We're not going to go there. Paranormal. But yeah, paranormal. Paranormal. You did it again.
Yeah. At least it's not porn normal.
Right. All right. So, but anyways, all right. But yeah, guys, so that's what I wanted to, that's what I kind of wanted to start wrapping up with, guys, is that, hey, but anything you need, guys, reach out. And also, too, if you guys have any ideas that you want us to do for a show, please let us know. We're always happy to look at that. But, guys, we'll do some more reaction videos. I will do some more tarot reading and dowsing rod sessions coming up. But we're going to do those on a separate night, I hope. We'll just see how everything goes. We're going to kind of settle in now that school's back in session. So we'll hopefully be able to get on some more regular. And I want to do some more regular live investigations. I don't know if I'll go back to Epic Inc., but still, Terry said, love you and great show. Well, I appreciate that. That means a lot. I think she thought the show was going to suck tonight. So that's a good compliment.
Yeah. No, it never sucks.
No. We always have full of a ton of information, so much so that you can even get some rest while you watch our show. We have so much good information sometimes.
Yeah, if you're having insomnia, just listen to me talk for a while and bam, you're going to be out.
I know, that's the funny thing. That's what Terry Lynn says about my voice too. She's like, Josh, I can watch. I just put on your show if I want to really go to sleep. Like, well, that's great. So take it from me, Tylenol PM here. That the paranormal is great. I love it. But no, we're gonna do some more live investigations. Seriously, I'm really pushing to do more of that for you guys, where I do live and then go out into the field. I think hopefully we'll make some fun at this or make some good connections at Paracon. But guys, CreepyCon, not Paracon, CreepyCon coming up, CreepyCon 2022. Look it up. We're going to be there. I've got some panels there. Come see us. It'll be great. So other than that, Stacy, you got any last minute stuff?
No, we're good. I think we covered a lot.
All right. Well, if y'all need anything, you know where to find us, and we'll see you in the next video next week sometime again. Maybe not Thursday, because we got to go drop off some stuff. We'll be in Knoxville. We want to go to dinner while we're out there, which amazingly we found an amazing Oriental buffet out there in Seaverville. It's amazing. It's like really good stuff. And surprisingly, they actually had really good wings, chicken wings. Like you wouldn't think like chicken wings, you're like, oh God, here they go, like Oriental buffet, chicken wings. They actually had really good chicken wings. Like whoever they like to use mustard and stuff. And anyways, I'm rambling. Guys, we'll see you in the next video. And remember, seek the truth.
Peace.